Ready or Not video game. The devs, which is Void Interactive, have actually split from Team 17. And Void Interactive may be the publishers. I'm not sure on this, okay? I'm going off. Like I said, this comes across my desk. But this split is a big deal because this Ready or Not game, I believe, caught a lot of steam. A lot of people were talking about it. It was a very popular title. Said a lot of people thought about the SWAT games back in the day where you had a lot of circumstantial type of situations that you bust into and you want to save people the best way possible. That's how it was. But the devs have stated that there is a controversial level that made them say, we are pulling out. And I'm thinking, what level could be so controversial? I've seen everything controversial. And y'all know my favorite franchise, Call of Duty. I remember playing Call of Duty, and I'm not sure, I think it was Modern Warfare 2. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember being with 4 other guys at a scene at a mall. And you're the Russian guys, you pull out a gun, and you unload on nothing but innocent civilians. That was probably the realest for me. This game does that over and over and over again with circumstantial or with circumstances. So just think, if you were put in the circumstance of a possible school shooting, pow, pow, pow. Imagine. I don't know. I'm kind of weary on that. We already have enough incidents happening at schools. How do I feel, Nick? With someone taking that same situation and putting it inside of a video game. I'm going to be honest. It's off limits. How do you not know that? Like, come on, it's off limits. Like, come on, man. Like, anything. You can touch anything. Oh, you can do anything. You can do all types of controversial shit. Why do you touch the school, man? Oh, God, man. Look, I understand. Some people might say, let me just say this. Some people might say a school situation is a real situation. It does happen. United States of America, a country that is has a lot of gun laws where people hold their guns. Hell, I have a license. I hold. Pop, pop. Love them. But they're for self-defense. They should not be used to just go out and harm anybody. They are made to harm people. So when you think of situations like this in a video game, if one thing is taken the wrong way, you may face lawsuits, backlash, investors pulling out. It's a lot of things that can come from that. I'm not, and I can understand where Void Interactive stands. I want to go ahead and get to the article, but we will talk more in depth about this because this is something serious. I think a lot of people don't, really understand how serious it could be. Makers of controversial upcoming school shooting game level remind team to have some tact. In late December, Void Interactive, makers of upcoming tactics game Ready or Not, suddenly lost its publishing partner. While not directly confirmed at the time, speculation online heavily suggested the first-person shooter shakeup was due to a recent official exchange with fans where one worker distastefully reiterated the world better believe the game was gonna include a previously announced school shooting level. Damn. Woo. And now, a few days after the furor that broke out over the story, the studio has released a more measured statement about its general approach and the philosophy behind the game. It's out in early access, highly rated. Highly rated. Okay, puts you in the boots of elite SWAT team that is sent to defuse high stake situations. School shooting, high stake situation. What do you think? Okay, presumably a level where a school shooter terrorizes a classroom would fall under the game's purview. Mechanically and even conceptually, it's an idea that is fairly well trod in video games, with military tactics games forming a genre onto their own. You have military titles. These military titles are supposed to be as real as it can be. Do you think it should touch that? So, games can make you play both sides of the conflicts. Typically, however, video games depict or imply situations involving adults, not children. Not children. Do you hear that? That right there says it all for me. Adults, not children. Okay? So you might, for example, play a video game where you are tasked with robbing a bank, which then will require you to execute a careful plan that involves taking hostages. This is true. Arguably, the problem isn't the subject matter per se, it's the worry that this particular studio will be able to handle such a tricky subject with the grace that it requires, given how flippant some devs working on the games have sounded recently. I'm not lying. With all the shit that's going on recently, y'all crazy for trying that. But media, for Ready or Not, also has inspired confidence for some. One trailer for the game shows all these elements: men bravely reaching down to save children, flashes of schoolroom desk, all that shit. So they went all in. That's what they're saying. Now, I'm going to read the actual statement. We are dedicated to promoting a level of authenticity and realism in our video game, Ready or Not, that carries with it difficult subject matter. We understand that this requires a certain responsibility to our fans and community, yes, but also to those who have been impacted by traumatic events law enforcement all too often respond to. Rest assured, our aim is to handle all Ready or Not's content with the level of weight and respect that it warrants. We have recently had to remind certain team members of the required care in discussing this material now on an ongoing basis. That was well said. I'm not gonna lie. Looked like something was floating in the shit. But I'm not gonna lie, that is well said. I don't think nothing else really needs to be said. For me, what I like best about that statement is that they stated pretty much, hey, this is going to be difficult to take in. This is not your typical game. This is not some game you're just going to take. Oh, I love it. No, it's really going to take you digging deep. Something might hurt. Something might not feel right. Situations where you're not technically able to really see played out. But there are people who do want to join law enforcement. There are people who are interested. What happens in these, situations, and they want to play it out. They want to be a part of it. And this game is about as close as you're getting to that. Now, is it right? Is it wrong? And y'all, I hate to do this. It falls in line with everything of the game. I do think it is something that they could do, but I do think the people that you should do it, I think kids should be left as kids, and the terrorist, who would be the terrorist at this point, would be adults. I think that's how it has to be played out. That's just me. If you're playing it out any other way, it might change. It might change. Something different might happen. You might be facing a lawsuit. You might have to be speaking to a bunch of people that you don't want to speak to. So trust me, stay away from the school stuff, okay? At least for the United States of America. I can't speak for everywhere else. Just here in Illinois, a lot of people don't know, at Oak Brook Mall, there was a shooting, okay? People were hurt. Guns being everywhere is a real thing. Some people say gun laws need to be more strict. Some people say they are too strict, that you need to give guns to more people. You hear all types of different things. This is not no political shit that I'm ready to go over. But what I'm here to tell you, okay, is that I think this is something that could be done if done